Hello, everyone. Welcome to the AI Math Guy YouTube channel, where we reimagine teaching in the age of AI, especially in math. Today, I want to talk about a book that I've been reading. It's called Teacherpreneurs. That's the title right there. Pretty awesome book. Professor by the name of Barnett Berry, who I actually know personally, wrote this book back in 2013. There's something about this book that deeply resonated with me as a human being and as a teacher. Now, before I talk about what about this book really resonated deep within my soul, I want to just give you the premise of the book. The premise of the book is talking about this idea of teacher and entrepreneur and putting that together. And that's where he comes up with this idea of teacherpreneur. And hopefully, Barnett, if you're watching this, I hope that I'm doing your book justice. And if I'm not, please forgive me. Teachers are given two choices. They can either teach or lead. So, for example, if a teacher wants to lead and want to have broader impact, influence policy, or want to earn a higher salary, they're forced to leave the classroom to become administrators, consultants, or district officials. So, this creates two problems. The first problem it creates is that the teacher, in order for them to stay sharp in their practice, has to be foot on the ground, interfacing with the students, trying out new things, experimenting, gaining new insights. And that's how we grow and learn as practitioners. However, if you leave the classroom to lead, then you don't get those opportunities to interface and experiment with students. So potentially that can affect your teaching practice. So that's number one. Second one is it takes away the most effective practitioners outside of the classroom, where the students who need them most, now the teachers aren't there because they're outside of the classroom leading. So teachers are often faced with this binary choice. Do you want to lead or do you want to teach? What Barnett proposes in this book is a hybrid solution where teachers aren't given a binary choice, but are given both choices where you're not only able to lead, but also to teach. That's where the term teacherpreneur comes. Teacherpreneurs are classroom experts who teach students regularly, but also have time, space, and reward to incubate and execute bold ideas that improve the school, the district, or the profession at large. That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. So that's what a teacherpreneur is a hybrid role that gives teachers the opportunity to not only lead but also teach. And in order to understand teacherpreneur, we also have to understand teaching as a profession and how it has evolved over the years. And so in this book, he talks about four different waves. Wave one is teachers as managers. Such roles are department chairs, head teacher, union representatives. Wave two is teachers as instructional leaders, such as mentors, curriculum specialists, or instructional coaches. Wave three is teachers as cultural leaders, such as leading professional learning communities, focusing on school culture, teacher to teacher collaboration. Wave four teachers, or the teacher entrepreneurs, are teachers who remain in the class but also affect change, not only on the school, district, on a state level, and perhaps even a global level. This is basically the premise of the book. Hopefully, I captured it right, Barnett. If I didn't, please forgive me. And please don't make me take this video down. But yes, so that's the premise of it. If you want to read it yourself, I highly encourage it. Teacherpreneurs, really good book. And I think now with I would imagine a wave 4.5. This wave 4.5 is a teacher who still teaches in the classroom and not only influences the entire educational system, but also is able to do all of those things by leveraging the power of AI. At least to me, that seems like a fair description where it's wave 4.5, the AI teacherpreneur, or it could be teacherpreneur who leverages AI. In wave four, teacherpreneurs are given the time and the space and the resources by restructuring their role. So whether it's 50% teaching and 50% outside the classroom, and even though it would be so amazing for every teacher who wants to lead to be able to given this opportunity of restructuring their day, not everybody will be given that time. However, even though it's not as robust as having a restructured role, What AI will allow us to do is automate a lot of these administrative tasks for teachers so that they can have more time to do creative work, such as building performance task assessments, using their creativity, building relationship with students, but also have more space to be able to think about what it would look like to lead on a greater scale. So I think the AI Teacherpreneur is going to leverage AI to regain back time. The second feature of this 4.5 Teacherpreneur is going to be someone who builds their own AI specific to their use case. I think that there will come a time very soon where teachers will be able to create their own AI app that is going to specifically address very unique cases. The reason why I say that is because the time and energy and the resources that it takes to build an AI app now has been reduced by tenfold. There are many great apps out there already that you should leverage. And at the same time, there's going to be certain areas of your teaching or your pedagogy that is just way too specific, such that there isn't a software company right now that really focus on that very specific problem. And therefore, a 4.5 AI teacherpreneur, I think that person can see that specific need and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and program it. And if you take a look at companies like Base 44, Cursor, or Replit, all of these apps allow you to one shot software that would have taken somebody 1 year to build in like 10 minutes. I would be very interested in a world where teachers are able to create their own AI apps to address very specific needs. One thing that we should definitely watch out for if we are really in this 4.5 wave is uncritical adoption. What that means is giving too much responsibility over to the AI and even relinquishing some of the things that should remain uniquely human to AI. I hope that that doesn't come across as analysis paralysis, meaning you're just so concerned about the dangers and the detriments of AI that you just don't ever use it in the classroom. But I don't think it should also be, all right, kids, just use it, right? With no guidance, feedback, and reflection. I think a good balance probably is like, okay, everyone, let's go ahead and use AI, see what it feels like, what it looks like, and then have healthy conversations about what that experience was like. Finally, going back to why this book deeply resonates with me as a teacher, there is a big part of me that is very entrepreneurial. I want to innovate, I want to think of new ideas, I want to do things that's never been done before. That's what I truly enjoy. And it excites me and it gives me life. And it's just so much fun. And there's been times in my career where I felt like I would stick my head up. Oh, is this possible? And then I would share with somebody. And it's like that game whack a mole. It's like as soon as you raise your head up, somebody goes and then hits you on the head, and then you just go back down and you just go back to teaching from the book. Oh, I shouldn't put my head up again. I felt like I lived like that for a very long time. Reading this book really affirmed that I'm not alone. There's people who are legit people, like Barnett's pretty legit. The impact that he's had on education, like he's a legit dude. And if a legit dude is saying that, hey, this teacherpreneur thing is not just a crazy idea, but this is a real thing, that helps me to feel like I'm not alone. Yeah, if I were to show you some of the notes that I wrote down in this book, is that it's like, yes, or like, yes, that's me, or like, that's how I've been feeling for the longest time, or that's what I've been thinking about. It's like that everywhere. And yeah, it just felt deeply validating. And it also was very liberating too. It almost felt like it gave me permission to be a teacherpreneur and that there is a path. There's people like Ariel Sachs, Jessica Kagan, Stephen Lazar, and Renee Moore. I mean, there's a bunch of different examples. And when I see and read these examples, that really gives me hope. And I feel like reading these examples allows me to stand on the shoulders of giants where I'm like, hey, if these guys did it, then I can too, because this is my calling. And this is what I believe that God has called me to do. And now to be able to see a path where it aligns deeply with my values, but also what I'm good at and what I'm passionate about, I just feel so seen by this book. So, anyways, I know that's a little emotional for just reading a book, but yeah, it was pretty incredible. And so maybe there are other teachers out there who are feeling like this, who feel like they're meant to make a big impact, but they don't want to leave the classroom. If you are feeling that way, then there is a path forward, and it's called Teacherpreneur. And I really encourage you to get the book, read it for yourself, study it. It is definitely going to shift your paradigm about the teaching profession. Lastly, I just want to say thank you, Barnett, for the work that you do, doing work that is deeply meaningful for other teachers like me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.